Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the Los Angeles Rams. A Rams team that last year they got off to a very slow start, but they ended up winning a lot of games towards the end to make their way back to the playoffs. But unfortunately, their season did come to a quiet end when they lost to the Detroit Lions, which is ironically Matthew Stafford's former team, and it was also Aaron Donald's final game as he retired at this offseason. The Rams honestly don't know where they're going to go in this season. They could be pretty good. They could be in the good, not great tier, but they could be pretty bad. I could see this season go both ways for the Rams. Well, the future didn't really look all that great before their schedule. They started off 3-6 on the season, which included losses to the 49ers, losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. It was somewhat controversial, getting destroyed by the Cowboys and Packers. But then after their bye week, they turned things around, getting two divisional wins over the Seahawks and Cardinals. Then they beat the Cleveland Browns, had a setback against the Baltimore Ravens before the ending on a 4-game winning streak against some pretty easy opponents, which included Commanders, Saints, Giants, and a 49er squad that was resting starters. The Rams were also resting guys. They started Carson Wentz, and he was able to lead them to a win. Good for him. But in the playoffs, they became the team to give the Lions their first playoff win in 30 years. And it hurt and I know the city of Detroit, they were celebrating, but it did came at a cost because Matthew Stafford, he always get good publicity in Detroit. He used to play there, and if it's not the Lions, it's the Rams. Okay, let's talk about some highlights. And oh wow, Puka Nacua. What can I say about this kid? A 5th-round draft pick, ended up leading was he the leader of the league in receiving yards? Well, he led all rookies in receiving yards, and he set the rookie record for most catches in a single season. And not only that, because if I remember in the beginning of the season, he had like 2 or 3 games where he caught 10 or more balls in those games. That is insane. It also helped that Cooper Kupp was hurt during most of that first 4 games, so it was able to inflate his stats. Then they swept the Seahawks. Whenever you sweep a division opponent, that's always a win in your books. But the fact that they swept a team that honestly that has swept them last year, that's pretty impressive to me. And then I know it was a week 18 game where both teams are resting starters, but that since they finally beat the 49ers, that counts as a win. But for the lowlights, the slow start to the season where they started off 3-6, me thought the Rams were pretty much done, and then losing to the wild card round to the Lions. Those were the big highlights. But in all honesty, this team exceeded their own expectations. They have nothing to be mad about how last year went. And on that note, let's talk about what they added and what they lost. They added Jonah Jackson, a tackle from, I think he played for Detroit. Almost got him mixed up with Jonah Williams from Cincinnati, but there you go. They added Colby Parkinson from Seattle, and they got Darius Williams back from Jacksonville. But the biggest loss of them all was losing Aaron Donald. He finally retired after 10 seasons. And to my honesty, he didn't really have much to play for. He already accomplished everything he set out to be in his 10 short years in the NFL. And all I got to do for him is just wait 5 years where he will be donning a gold jacket. And he also did something very shocking when in the draft. They finally had a first round pick. And they took Jarrett Burst, a linebacker from Florida State. I mean, they got him at linebacker, but he could play D end. They also added Braden Fisk, also from Florida State. And they added Blake Corum from Michigan, who's from that championship team of Michigan. Kamari Kitchens is another pick that I like in the third round. Tyler Davis is another pick from Clemson. That's one I like as well. And they added some more depth. They added a new kicker, Joshua Carty from Stanford. And last pick that I'm going to mention is Jordan Whittington from Texas. He was basically the third receiver there on that team. Didn't get a lot of buzz, but maybe he could do something with the Rams. But for the Rams, can they repeat their success from last year in the post-Aaron Donald era? Let's take a look. Now for the Rams, and like with the other teams, I'm going to go through these very quickly as I've already done majority of their schedule. So week 1, losing to the Lions on the road. Then losing to the Cardinals on the road. Okay, that one. Okay, week 2 had me my head scratching, but that's how it ended up with Arizona. Week 3, losing on the road to the 49ers. Let's be real, the 49ers always floods that place whenever they play. But week 4 and 5 is where they'll get their first wins of the season, beating the Bears on the road and beating the Packers home. And after their bye week, they're going to beat the Raiders at home, beat the Vikings at home, and then they're going to go on the road and beat the Seahawks on the road. But week 10 against the Dolphins, I have them losing at home for that one. I have them going on the road and beating the Patriots week 11, but losing to the Eagles at home week 12. Week 13, I had them losing on the road to New Orleans Saints. Week 14, I had them losing at home to the Bills. Week 15, I have them getting swept by the 49ers. Week 16, beating the Jets. Week 17, avenging the Cardinals before closing their season with a loss to Seattle, which puts their record at 7-10 for the season. So, as you can see, year 1 in the post-Aaron Donald era will not be a good season for the Los Angeles Rams. But anyway, tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely, and I'll see you next time.